Alright, y'all, I brought you back out here. I'm working outside with a little bit better lighting. I wanted to show you a few of the differences between an LA camshaft and a Magnum. Now, if y'all remember, this is that old camshaft I got out of the Magnum engine. There's a few things I wanted you to look at. Now, if you look at the races here, or at the journals where it runs on the main bearings, right there, there's no oiling holes. Whereas on the LA, these are drilled to allow oil to pass through. So a lot of people have asked, can you use a Magnum camshaft in an LA engine? Well, yes, they'll fit, but there's a problem you run into. There's no oil passages drilled, so at the top end of the engine will get its oil. Now, if you're running Magnum heads, I'm gonna imagine that it's not a big deal. You can use the Magnum camshaft in the LA if you're running the Magnum heads. But other than that, no, you can't take a Magnum camshaft and put it in an LA engine, because they don't have the oiling holes drilled, and you'll wipe out your top end. You wipe out your heads, your valve train. The other thing that's different is this is what's called a long nose camshaft, and this is a short nosed camshaft. Now, on this particular engine, yes, I could run a short nose camshaft as long as it was drilled, had the oil holes drilled, because this particular engine I'm running, the one that's in my truck, has an electric fuel pump on it. The reason why this long nose is here is so you can bolt an eccentric on it to run a mechanical fuel pump. This one, I think they make adapter kits for it, but it's just about a 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit better, but about a 1/4 inch. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit of heavy 1/4 inch. Almost, yeah, I wouldn't quite go a 1/2 inch, but it's a little bit shorter, and that's just enough so that the eccentric and the arm from the mechanical fuel pump, it might bolt on there, but it's not going to run true and straight. Eventually it's just going to be hitting the edge of it. So I'm sure people have done it before, and they'll tell you it's fine until they tear it down and see where it's wearing. But anyway, yeah, that's just a couple of the little differences that you have to watch out for. Other than that, they're both interchangeable as far as fitting. They'll fit in either engine, and yeah, for a few miles you'll be able to run it. But like I said, yeah, watch out for that. If you got an LA type engine, yeah, make sure a camshaft you get has these oil holes drilled into it. The other thing is, more of the high performance ones will have a groove drilled into these journals, so that oil is surrounding them completely all the time. And this way here, it's kind of going through it pulses. Whenever this oil hole lines up with the oil holes in your cam bearings and in the block, that's the only time oil goes through this. On the high performance ones, they have a groove, so it's a continuous oil flow and oil supply. And I would imagine too, that's something else you got to watch out for if you have new cam bearings put in your engine. I already know, I've already seen a few that the oil holes weren't lined up properly and they had to have it redone. But I also imagine there might be 2 sets of cam bearings, and you definitely, if you have an LA engine, you definitely want to have the cam bearings with the oil hole drilled in it and lined up properly to the block. Anyway, that's just a little tip. And another little difference between the Magnum and the LAs. All right, y'all, take care.